Hola, welcome to the Timers Playbook podcast. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. Now, before we get into today's episode, I wanted to ask a quick favor. If you're enjoying the show, please hit the subscribe button and leave a rating and a review. This helps other people find the podcast and get more out of it. And if you know any other timer that might benefit from listening, please share the episode with them. I really appreciate your support. Now, let's get it. Welcome to this episode of the Timers Playbook. And as usual, now and then, I have my lovely wife, Tessa, joining us for a regular check-in as a couple. Welcome to the show, Tessa. Why do you always laugh every time we do this opening?
I don't know.
You actually,
Hi, I'm here again.
You actually have to take my podcast very seriously.
I take your podcast super seriously,
Okay, this is why you're here.
as always.
Okay, cool. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm feeling lighter than I have in a few months, so
Okay,
it's good.
that's good to know.
Yeah, I did some deep breathing exercise like 2-3 weeks ago. Something released, and my heart connected to the cosmos.
Nah.
And I finally cried and like from like deep soul cry session, which I absolutely loved. I feel a lot lighter.
Okay, cool. So you said you had some questions for me.
Yes, I do. I've got a ton.
What's on your mind?
Well, how you been?
I've been very busy.
No, you've given us a scare, babe.
Yeah, no, I didn't think we were talking about that bit.
Well, you know how I do. Like everything's connected, buddy.
No, it doesn't have to be that deep, Tessa. It doesn't. No, I've been. What's the South Africanism to this situation? Hectic.
You've been lifing.
Yeah, no, I've been lifing. I had some health problems, as you're aware.
Mm-hmm.
But I think most of it, to be honest, has been related to stress.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't been great. Let me be honest.
Yeah.
Things have been very tough,
Mm-hmm.
which eventually led to my health being compromised.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I thought I'm in good shape.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought the working out, eating healthy, meditating, doing all the right things was enough. But I guess I wasn't connecting all the dots properly, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I was working out mentally and emotionally, I was still in a funny place.
So let's unbundle that because I really like that.
Okay.
Because your workouts were hectic because you think you're a pseudo athlete, right?
I think I think I do all right. I'm not pseudo nothing.
And then, like, mentally, your approach to problem solving is or has been to get on top of it, to get into control of it, to discover all the elements around it, and then control those elements. What have you learned? Because that didn't help you. That actually didn't make your life simple at all.
What, trying to control the elements?
Yes. You're confused.
No, I think I did all right. I just got thrown a bit.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like this idea of you controlling, like when things get tough, your discipline kicks in to like super God mode.
Mm-hmm.
And discipline has a big element in control. And the least amount of control you've ever felt, you've always then physically wanted to come control, dominate physically, like from an approach, which caused your body to actually shut down in certain aspects, like the weakest part of your energy points, which led to your illness.
Okay.
So my question to you is, what new approaches have you learned?
In the last 2 weeks,
Yeah, bro.
to be honest, I think I learned to take a break and just to try to relax for a bit. I think the biggest thing was I don't know how to shut things off. Okay? So when things are tough, like you're saying, and my approach is always to like you got to do something. You got to try to fix whatever situation is that you're facing. And for the first time when I got sick, I had to just stop At that moment, there was nothing else I could do because I was physically ill. So I couldn't even go to gym, which has always been my outlet. So if things aren't going great, you can always go out to gym, exercise, work very hard, beat your body, come back, and hopefully you feel great. But that in of itself was actually making matters worse because my system couldn't handle it. My immune system had been compromised. So the going to the gym was actually hurting me also. So I think the first approach was just to slow down, just relax, and try to be in the moment and realize that there's nothing I can do about the debt. It's not like right now I can't do anything about it. Maybe later on or whatever it is that we're facing. So I think because this just recently happened like 2 weeks ago. So I think the first week was just to try as much as I can not to think about things that I can't control at that moment and just to relax and try to be with my kids and watch movies and just relax. That's the big thing. I think now I'm still trying to figure out how to move forward because it's only been 2 weeks, like I said. But I'm very scared of caffeine now.
Your favorite go-to?
Yeah. Because all those things are also dependencies. And it is a drug. And caffeine also it stimulated certain things in my body and I had a reaction to it. So again, I'd have to rethink about that. So I'd have to rethink about what I eat. I was pretty good about what I ate, but now I really have to amp it up like you always said. So diet is super important now. It's critical. I think the things that I can control, like again, diet, what I think mostly, what I put my mind, not put my mind to, but what I think about daily. I think that's the biggest shift that has to happen and how I look at situations. And that it isn't always dire. Just because things are difficult now doesn't mean they'll be difficult forever.
And they weren't difficult before.
They weren't even difficult before.
Yes.
They always say that whatever you put whatever you think about the most will manifest. So if you're constantly thinking about debt or being broke, you will be broke. And I can attest to that. So maybe I should think about wealth.
Well, interestingly enough, what I wanted to really know is in the last 2 weeks of you slowing down or like changing your mindset or your focus, what did you gain? Like, what were the observations? Like, I know it's like a hectic questions. Maybe we can come back to it later, like once you've thought about it. But I'm really, really curious to see what you gained in the 2 weeks where you actually had full 10 days to just sit at home and do nothing, and you're required to do nothing. I know day one was a bit hard. You're like handing over. Please. I know, Mr. President, you were handing over, letting other people run with your ideas and projects. But from like the second or third day, you sort of got used to not doing anything, and not going to the gym and not drinking coffee, not eating copious amounts of meat, like not doing anything. What did you gain?
Sure, that is a tough question. I actually don't know what I gained. Like, what would be the right answer?
The truth.
I'm not sure.
Think about it.
What did I gain? Sleep.
Yes.
Is that a good thing?
That's a very good thing. You did sleep.
I slept a lot, like I was sleeping during the day, which I never do because
Apparently.
yeah, like you got shit to do, right? I slept a lot, baby. I rested. I think because I always think I don't have a chance to rest. So I think the biggest thing for me was just to rest and to give my mind. Because when I'm sleeping, at least I'm not thinking about stuff. So I think then that gave me a chance to give everything a break. really, and to try. Because also my body is bruised, which goes the same for my mental and my spirit. So it just gives us chance for everything to reset and to actually relax and watch movies during the day, read, meditate, So I think I'm gaining a bit of myself back, just enjoying my own company, enjoying my home. Yeah, I think that's what I have for now. But I guess I know you're thinking, when I play, like, everything's always deep with you. I'm gonna need to give it some proper thought so I can give you a proper answer.
No, that's fine. Like, it'll come by the end of this conversation because most truths are always surface level. They're not as deep as people think they are.
Yeah, but you should have told me I must think about it. So I can
you said, do I have questions? I have questions. I have questions. Okay. Now, how's your relationship been with your boys? Bakhulile. It's almost their birthday, so it's been a year since the last full-on assessment with him.
If I'm honest, I could say it. I don't know how my kids view me. I don't know. I know that they love me, but in my head, I'd say the relationship is great. I don't think it's awesome or outstanding.
The 4 and 7.
Yeah, but it's not bad either.
The 4 and 7. Define awesome and outstanding.
They just listen to what I say.
No.
All the time, every time.
That's never going to happen.
Which they don't, right? And they're coming into their own. But if I'm being honest, in my view, Akirona, you're also in this house, so maybe you see it differently. I think we have an awesome relationship. Father and son relationship. I think we get on with the boys. We do stuff together, but I know that they like me to do more stuff with them. That is outdoors. I mean, they're big into sports now. They really want us to go out and play whatever game it is that they're playing, if they're not kicking the football in the house. So I think, like, we had a good time the last time we went out to play football. But I guess then part of what your question to answer it is, more of those moments are better for me emotionally
and physically, because you get your vitamin D in.
Yeah, because I need my vitamin D. But also they run around a lot. So you're trying to play football with these people, it isn't like the ball is coming to you straight all the time. So you're constantly chasing it.
Yeah, unless they're playing with me.
Please.
No, like, seriously, like, they don't mess around. The ball, I'm like, I'm trying to, get my 10,000 steps a day in. Like, nope, pass to mommy, and then mom does everything else.
No, I don't know about that. Anyway, we'd have to cross-reference that. Yeah, but I think the hangout with the kids and trying to find ways to do more stuff with them. I just plan my day better. Because when they come back, the more often than not, there isn't really anything happening work-wise, because work knows that between 3 and 4, I'm picking up the boys and they're coming back. It's just trying to work harder to find those opportunities to be outside with them or to do things that they like. I think that'll entrench this connection a lot more.
So I can tell you top 3 very quickly.
Yeah, of course.
DJ wants a picnic.
Picnic ya eng?
Hey, he wants a picnic. I will pack sandwiches and snacks and water, and you must take your son to a picnic. Right? That's number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, they do want to kick the ball out. And number 3, they want to ride the bikes out in the street. Top 3, easy. Knock yourself out.
Yeah, and those are easy to do. Those are easy to do.
And when there's room for budget, we must actually take them to things like the botanical gardens and walk with them to the waterfalls, all that amazing natural stuff.
But these are the things that got me into trouble.
What?
Not in a bad way, I get it. It's that balance that we often speak of work and doing this stuff. Because work is busy.
It is.
Sometimes.
It is.
And I can't, unfortunately, always do that, especially during the week.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well.
But we got to plan for them.
Yeah, it's about planning, scheduling it in as much as I schedule my meetings. That's what it's about.
We still have to take him to the Lion Park. Can't believe we haven't done that.
Yeah, I think so. All the things that we want to do with them, we should do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And how's your relationship with me? What happened in the last 2 weeks? What shifted?
I forgot those far now.
How? You're in like, dude. Kanti.
Well, we are married, so I guess it's unavoidable. My relationship with you in the past 2 weeks. Okay, so again, let me answer your question. I'm learning to let go and trust my wife to do the things that I would normally be doing or I think that I should be doing, especially around the house. So when I was down, well, I wasn't that sick. It was just a little bit down because I've been sick before, as in I had no hand. That was very difficult, trying to make papa with one arm.
But you were insisting. So
I was insisting.
I had to let you.
But we were in a different space then. Yeah, so I'm slowly then, that's another thing. I got to trust you. You're the mom and the wife. It isn't like you are not capable of doing these things. But before, there was just a sense that you either weren't keen or you do them at your own time. And I've got my own schedule to run. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to do it anyways because Tessa will get to it when she gets to it. But things have to be done. So allowing you to do what you need to do in your own way. And you were great, by the way, when I was sick. So thank you for that.
I was gonna ask, like, how did that work out for you?
No, I was not. When it happened,
You were not make sure.
I was not. No, you were not make sure.
You were not make sure.
Oh, well, no, because you're different when I'm sick. I think you also don't always know what to do with me when I am sick. Because in our entire relationship, whether I'm sick or not, I always want to go and do what I need to do anyway. So I've never taken it seriously enough to sit down and not do anything. And I think that's also allowed you to be like, okay, is he really that sick? Even if it's subconscious. He'll be fine. I get it because he's always fine.
Because you'll also fight me. And like, I can't fight someone who's man down. You fight me.
No, I wasn't fighting.
No, not this time. But like normally, like you fight me. Like, okay, so he's got fight and he wants to do it himself, but he says he's sick. So steering, go for it.
No, because the instructions weren't making sense then.
They haven't changed in 19 years.
No, they have. Like your approach is different.
I gotta use that. I must work on it.
Yeah, your approach is different. You're not commanding. You're like, yeah, we're married and stuff. And you know me, I don't believe in this notion that wives must tell their husbands what to do because their husbands are too dumb to think for themselves.
No, I don't have that. You just have an authority thing.
I don't have an... Okay.
You don't like me to tell you anything.
I don't like you to command and tell me what to do.
In any point, whether you're sick or not, you just don't like it.
Yeah, maar sonst will in hand like here.
Aki hani mara how cool and how about robal. What like ring? For 19 years.
Okay.
Think about it.
No, sharp.
Like behaviorally, right? When you're sick, the one thing you're mandated to do is to sleep because your body heals in sleep. It's the one thing you have fought me for until the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was young then.
And I was like, what, old?
No, you've always understood things way ahead of your age.
You know, like I've always been patient. Like I try to get you to sleep and you were mandated to sleep. You know, it's not an issue to say, babe, I'm tired, I need a power nap. And I take the kids out for 2 hours.
Again, remember this time in the past year, we've been having conversations, me and you. Personally, through the podcast, whatever. There's a lot of growing that's happened. This comes off the back of our conversations to say, listen, we have to trust each other more and realize that we are a team. I'm not working against you, you're not working against me. Even though we do things differently. You are also learning what it's like to work in a team. I get? Yeah. It's not agreeing.
I'm waiting to see where you're going with this.
No, where I'm going is now off the back of the conversations, like Tshepo, just trust me to take care of this. I know what I'm talking about. I then had to concede, okay, she does know what she's talking about. She's on my side. She's not always against me.
Yeah.
Even when she makes not so clever decisions. Yabo? So I have to trust you. So it's the off of the back of that, okay, you have my best interest at heart. But also when I'm sick, and not even just when I'm sick, there's certain things you want in a certain way. And I said, okay, you have to compromise on other aspects too and let me in on certain things. Okay. Just because when ushangani have cause of shangani and then ubakla king umngusho on its own, I'm like, but I need meat. Before you be like, no, that's all you're gonna eat. Pap and mrojo. I was like, no, that's not gonna happen. Wabo, ufake nyama. Now you are adding it to say, okay, cool, this is what he likes. Although I think he needs this meal, but let me add something that he likes. And then I'm like, okay, cool. So she did listen to me. Yabo? So that helps in that things. Like we have to always try to find common ground. It can't be my way only or your way only.
And my new favorite dish is that rice bake. Like you can make tons of that type curry. Like I will eat the whole thing.
Okay, I'll do what I can.
Because there's no sauces. I love that food.
See, that's me listening to you also.
Even though you got to it by accident.
I didn't get to it by
no,
accident.
you did. You made it and I ate it and I loved it. And you're like, it didn't turn out the way I wanted. I'm like, it turned out perfect.
Yeah, I didn't like it. But even this weekend, you're like, no, let's make that. And then we had a bit of a thing.
Because you wouldn't let go.
As we do. But then you went upstairs and I was like, okay, cool. This is what she likes and this is what her people like. So let's do it.
And did you get rave reviews?
I did get rave reviews. Thank
so
you.
Was I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Thank you.
But I listened.
That's good.
Okay. Hey everyone. I wanted to tell you about an amazing organization called Youth Nations. They're all about identifying, shaping, and empowering the next generation of leaders. And they do this through their flagship program called Life Design. Now, this program is designed for tweens, teens, and young adults, and it helps them to develop a strong sense of self-awareness, identity, and self-worth. These are all qualities that all great leaders need. One of the coolest things they do is their annual summer camp. It takes place during the December holidays, and it's a chance for kids to really step out of their comfort zones and try new things. I'm talking about canoeing, rock climbing, abseiling, obstacle courses, and even arts and crafts. There's something for everyone at this camp. But what I really love about Youth Nations is that they take a holistic approach to children's development. It's not just about physical activities. They also focus on emotional and mental wellness because they know that future leaders need to be well-rounded individuals. If you're looking for a way to help your child grow into a confident and capable leader, I highly recommend checking out Youth Nations. You can find out more on their website, ynlm.co.za. That is ynlm.co.za. Or just search for Youth Nations SA on all social media platforms.
Which makes us where exactly?
As in, where are we?
I mean, you and I have always had a relatively healthy relationship. We don't have drama like exists in other people's relationships. Not that we really compare, but our drama and our struggle has always been balancing our finances. You know, and that's affected literally every other area of our lives. But I do genuinely feel like in the last few months, you don't carry blame to me anymore. Somehow. Not that I'm not at fault.
Yeah.
But it's not there. Like there was like a stinging energy, like an undercover, underlaying blame energy. Like I haven't felt. I haven't felt it in a while.
So why didn't you say anything when you were feeling it?
I need to akhuluma manje.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So is it there or am I seeing things?
No, I mean, you know me and my podcasts and my books. No, not entirely. No, before Akira, the blame was that I just felt that you weren't doing enough or what you should be doing in terms of finances and bringing your side in. But I can't remember if it's a podcast or a book or whatever. And it's not don't say but I told you so. We probably did. Just leave me to my podcast.
Okay.
No, I think they were going on that we partners, especially in marriage, it's a team. And I think once we've gotten into the team, and there's people that bring different things into the team, and just because I'm bringing in most of the money, doesn't mean that it's my money and therefore I'm entitled to certain things. Why is she not bringing her portion? It's that once it's there and the union is there, then it's our money. We then need to figure out how do we use the money and how do we compensate for whatever's missing. And understanding that your intentions were not always to compromise us. And having spoken to you about some of the decisions, and then you also realizing that, hey, they weren't well thought out decisions, and I accept that they've put us in a situation, which is what I've always wanted. It wasn't like I needed you to be blamed. It was just I needed you to account. Because once you account and realize this is where we went wrong, where you went wrong, where I went wrong, moving forward then, let's discuss it. Let's not make unilateral decisions. You know, be those couples that the husband or the wife goes off on the side, takes their life savings, makes an investment, the investment fucks out. And the wife is like, but what happened to the money? Well, it must be a discussion. And the more we do that, the more we discuss, the more we plan together, I don't mind, you know? Like all these things they talk about, the Japanese husbands, they give the wives all the money. I really don't mind.
No, you don't.
If we get to a situation, I'm like, okay, cool. Now I think I can trust her fully with money. Else she'll make the right decisions and she'll do what needs to be done. So we're getting there. Because as you know, I don't really want to be thinking too much about
anything. Like,
yeah.
No, but it's interesting because I think I have your cards for the better part of the year, both of them. You know, but I think it was primarily like you never know where you leave your bank cards anyway. You're always looking for them. I'm like, oh my goodness, doesn't matter how many wallets I bought you.
Yeah,
you know.
But I think in the planning of stuff, baby, for me, like I said, because of the nature of my work, and for me to be able to be creative, I need for there to not be clutter. You know, like you'd notice if I need to do something, I'll come down and I'll clean and I'll do whatever so that when I start working, it's cool. That's how I want it. But the clutter is whether it's the finances or I need to think about our kids' friends' birthday parties or the 55,000 emails that are coming from the school that there's this event, there's that event. That creates clutter in my head. And I've never, ever been able to do two things at once. I can't watch a podcast. I mean, I can't even listen to a podcast and work. There's too much information for me to overload. So that's why I said when we're in that situation, I can't be the only one that's thinking about the debt, about the house, about the school, about operations in the house. I just felt like I was carrying too much.
And you were.
Yeah, and I was. Until then, we spoke, and then you came to the party and say, allow me to carry some of it too, which helped. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Or didn't you say that? Did I think you said that?
No, I was just, but the look is for when I came to the party. Like, I've always been to the party.
No, you're not at the
No,
party.
I've always been to the party. I'm like, just let go. Allow me to do this.
Mm-mm.
And you're like, I'm not sure. Like, okay, maybe we'll start with the small stuff. Like, okay, you know? Some things I had to like fight you on. And it's only when you're in the middle of things where you realize, oh, snap. And I was like, no, it's sorted. And then you're like, oh, she actually can take the stuff on. Okay, cool.
No, this is now. Luena Skalibala.
No.
This is.
I'm not saying anything out of it. But
Yeah.
remember, in order for, like, you have a specific way of working. You don't believe people when they speak. Period.
Mm-hmm.
You never have. Right? You just always watch what they do. And I've always been the different way. Like, I watch what you say, and I want you to follow up physically with what you say.
Yeah.
Now, you've cut me from following up for a while because you don't always like what I said, but we've discussed that it's the approach and my commanding tone that you don't like, not necessarily what I say. But in the last, I'd say about a year and a half, like what I've been physically doing, you catch on later, but when you realize when you had too much and you had to let go, nothing fell apart because I've always been there. Like, I've always fixed it. You know, like, I've always been on top of the things. And I think the one time there was something happening in TJ's class. And I'm like, I don't know why, but I missed it. And you were going to look out for it, and then you missed it. And you're like, yeah, but we're supposed to do this for the class. I'm like, it's fine, I'll fix it.
I don't think I missed it.
Yeah, I think it had to do with one of those arts and crafts things, like I had to make a hat or something.
No, you missed it.
Nah,
I remember that day.
No.
Let me tell you.
Remember, we had two hats.
Let me tell you.
Which story? Which hat?
I think it was the pirate hat or something.
No, I had done that. You didn't believe I had done that.
It's Mpo's hat. You didn't do Mpo's hat. You did TJ, not Mpo.
That was the spring hat thing.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't know. I actually didn't see it at all. But even with TJ's hat, you're very upset. And I'm like, no, we're okay. He's going to have a really cool pirate hat.
I was upset because you're doing it in the morning.
But I had to. I couldn't do it the day before. I told you that. You just didn't believe it. Right? Anyway, long story short is you actually started noticing that when you didn't do stuff, you didn't have to think about it and manage it. It got done anyway.
Okay.
You're just not necessarily happy with my timing or how I
I'm
go
not
about
happy with
it.
your timing.
No, I don't think you ever will be.
No.
But the point is, you've realized that I will not let my house fall apart. It's the same lesson I had to learn when you were holding my baby upside down.
I've never
trying to tussle him.
What?
The very first time. I was like, my God.
Which child? Like
TJ.
He was born as a born child.
You didn't know how to hold him.
Newborn.
You didn't know how to hold him.
I knew how to hold a whole
You
newborn.
thought you were going to break him.
Yeah, but I knew how to hold him. Don't say things like that.
You really didn't. You thought you were going to break him. I saw you trying to tussle him. I'm like, yes, that's my poor child.
No, I think I
And
did.
it was my sister who would be like, he's not going to hurt the baby.
I think I did a stellar job.
Like, he loves his son. You must just give him room because whichever way the napkin goes on, it'll go on.
And it must stay on.
You know? And it was traumatic for me for a long time. But I didn't put that on you. I just went to my sisters like, oh my God, he does this and this and that. Like, yes, but is the baby fine? And the baby was fine, you know?
I think, Tessa, I was going to
say. So what I'm saying is that I learned this lesson you're going through 7 years ago.
Which lesson is that?
That you will find a way to where we need to end up and it's okay. It's just not my way.
Yeah, but you have to work towards it also and like be intentional about it. So I wouldn't say remember that our last catch up in this podcast, you I can't remember, like a few months after, is it China or Kwezi? So you've had a tough year.
I've had a very tough year.
You know, we've had a lot of debts in the family. And Luena, when you're going through stuff, don't forget that you just go internal.
Yeah.
And
I sit in my hole.
You sit in your hole, and then it's not like you let your house down, but you're not really
in there. I know.
So in the last year...
But you know why I can do that?
Why? Because I'm here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you realize that doesn't become an option for me if you're not?
I know that.
So
but I've always said this, like,
but
it's because I'm here.
Yes, but you're very critical to me being able to heal myself in time and space.
No, I wasn't being critical about you healing yourself.
No. I'm saying you're critical to me being able to heal myself. To heal myself in time and space. And that is invaluable to me.
Yeah, but you have to communicate. That's what you need at that time.
Yeah, but I don't know that. That's the beauty of life, isn't it?
No, but I don't know what's always going on. I can't always read signs.
I know, baby, but remember, and it's practical. Like when it really happened, I didn't realize it was happening until I was working on it.
What we're saying here, in the last few months, I've said to you, no problem. Learn to communicate. Let me know what's going on. Let me know you need space so that I can do what needs to be done.
And I've become better at that.
Yes. Number one, the timing thing, I'm right about time. We have to be timely about things. I'm correct about that. There's no two ways about it.
Yes, we know.
Again? And you are correct that we have to integrate ourselves into people and society and play
And
dates
life.
and life and whatnot.
Yes.
You see? So we have our roles to play. But within that, there is always room to be amiable and to amend things as and when they happen. But all it boils down to is communication.
Okay, that's between me and you.
Yes.
And we're good with that. But where I'm really trying to steer you towards is your faith.
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 Like religion.
No, like faith. They're not synonymous.
Okay, sharp. What do you mean?
I know everybody else thinks they're not synonymous,
Okay. Yeah, I know. I get that.
right? Do you believe that it will work out? Even if you don't necessarily have to put 130% into it.
I didn't believe that 2 weeks ago. No.
And now?
I'm forcing myself to believe it until it becomes true.
Where's the evidence?
There's lots of evidence.
Show me.
This podcast,
Mm-hmm.
work, kids, family, health. So yeah, there's a lot of
So why are you still
progress.
forcing yourself to believe?
I can remember before in my head.
Mm-hmm.
In my head was things weren't connecting. So you will go back to my easiest example. You cannot go to gym and not believe that you're going to get into the shape that you want and then actually act on it. You know, this idea, I forgot what they call it, body dysmorphia or something, where people work out and they do whatever, but they still think they look like shit, even though they're making progress. It's visible and whatnot. You know, so a big part of it, you actually have to believe, and when you see the evidence, and accept it for what it is. So I don't know why I was doing that. I have no idea.
Okay.
So now the forcing, it's not forcing in a bad way, baby. It's you wake up every day, you are listening to your thoughts and control of what you're thinking and your thoughts. Because when it's bad, it's like, fuck. Again, we're here. Every month we're here, blah, blah, blah. But you have to accept that, okay, it's going to pass. Next month will be different. Things are moving forward. There is progress. This is not the end of things. Because if you know me, I don't need a lot of evidence for things. I don't want to get sick again. And if in I'm definitely not doing that. If it is a physical ailment, that I can understand. So I don't want to get into that thing again. You know, so it's very important that I am aware of it continuously. And I am focusing on the evidence. And I am grateful for the things that I'm grateful for. And I actually work on the things that are moving forward and not focused on supposedly what's missing. So it got me to a point and it got me very ill. So lesson learned. What did the young people say? Message received.
Message received.
Bro. Message received. Yeah, if you're not working on your mental, but proper working on mental, not saying you're working on it, but still allowing yourself to believe in other things. Because in our world of social media and self-development that's out there, it's cool to say these things. Like you said, I believe in what people do. It's cool to say these things and to say that you're working on it and you believe in this and you got values and whatnot, you know? But it's important that when you are alone, the conversations that you're having with yourself, I think that in your head, that's the game changer. And now it's automation. Like, you have to get to a point where you fully believe it in your head, and that's faith. Faith is trusting that things will work out as they should.
Yeah.
And whatever position you are at that time is actually working in your favor. That's faith.
That is faith.
But you have to believe that more often than not. And actually, if you are in a dark place, get out of it much quicker. That's faith.
Yeah.
So it's only been 2 weeks, like I said. But I'm in a much different place. And your sisters came, they gave me a very nice talk about looking after myself and accepting things for what they are and taking a break. As you know, I do not like lectures. So if it means that nobody's coming to lecture me again and sending me self-help books, your mother called me, my mother called me.
Everybody prayed for you, and they sent you all the prayers, and we are grateful for all of them.
Very grateful. And again,
because do you realize who your circle is now?
Yes. Okay, that's another thing. So you realize that actually people do care about me. They love me. They want the best for me. You know, and I can lean into that network for whatever it is that I need, which was amazing. But I still don't want to have lectures.
Only from your wife.
No, I don't want nobody to lecture me. You see, I don't want you to lecture me. If you tell me, listen, Tshepo, don't eat this, eat that, do this, do that, I'll do it. Just so that we were good, me and you.
And no lectures.
No lectures. No, because they were right. The thing is, they're right. Yeah. They're right. That's what I'm saying. You can't do all this work. And I guess there's also a perpetual cycle of wanting to be in this position of development and listening to podcasts and reading books and not actually actioning those things. And that's the problem. And everything they were telling me is everything that I understood, but I wasn't practicing. And I actually had no answer for them, because also at that time I was tired and I was sick, so I couldn't even talk. I was like, no, I don't want to do this. These people are right. And you don't want to willingly compromise yourself because you can see what it does to your family. So don't do it. Look after yourself. And that's my lesson.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. Before you leave, I wanted to ask that quick favor again. If you enjoyed the show, please hit the subscribe button and leave a rating and a review. This really helps other people find the podcast and get more out of it. And again, if you know any other timer that might benefit from listening, please share the episode with them. Until the next episode, sharp.